That was the final one, and then they brought 2 people out. I'm trying to remember.
For like the after show, or?
It wasn't, yeah, it was kind of an after show. You guys just talked about like what was going on.
Yeah, that's Issa and Prentice. So Prentice is our, Prentice is our showrunner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you the showrunner?
I'm the showrunner for Boomerang.
Okay.
So I'm a writer on Insecure. I was a writer on Insecure for 3 years. Yeah.
Got it.
The showrunner for Boomerang.
Okay. So I have a couple questions.
Yeah. Sure.
So do you guys meet and like review real life stories, and then you take that real life story and then kind of spruce it up for TV, or are they like true to the core?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much.
How the writer's room works for me and for all of us, really, I mean, we just go in there, we tell our personal lives, we keep it real, we keep it very honest. We talked about, you know, bad dates we went on. We talked about relationships. We talked about, you know, our goals, our fears. And what's great, I think, is that Issa Rae, our creator, and Prentice Penny, our showrunner, they really create an environment where us as the rest of the team of writers, we could really just have a safe space to just sort of talk about, you know, what was really going on in our lives. Right. And I think people watch Insecure and they relate to it because they sort of feel like, wow, like, I'm going through the exact same thing in my relationship. I'm going through the exact same thing at work, you know. And so we just try to be very open and honest as much as possible. Okay, so the episode that stood out, and I'm watching this with my 16-year-old son. She went back to her old house in LA, which I'm originally from LA. Now I live here. And you know, you go back to your old house to bring up childhood memories. And then he's like, how'd they end up naked in the pool? And I'm thinking in LA, the LA I know, like, yeah, that might not be a good idea. But I'm like, this is TV. It's TV, yeah.
So was that your idea? Like,
we know that was,
that
was actually Issa's idea.
Really?
You know, because one, a lot of things that are that specific, because Issa, she writes on the show and she stars in the show, a lot of we can pitch ideas. We were like, oh, we think Issa's character should do, and Issa would be like, I'm not doing that, you know, because she's right there as we're telling it. Issa is one of my favorite people on the planet, and like what you see on TV is really how she is in real life. She's very smart, very sweet, very awkward, you know, and very funny. But that was actually something that she wanted to do, because look, I mean, that episode when she's meeting him, it's pretty much our, like, we call that episode like the long date. Right. The whole episode is just them on a one long date, and we wanted to really make sure they found a really emotional connection within the span of a day. Right. And what better way to be naked in the pool? After that, you know a person.
Okay, we go together.
Yeah, we go together. And that's the sort of the power and the magic.
I was engaged. After that, I was engaged.
And that's the power and the magic of television is that, you know, I mean, yeah, could that have happened in one day? Probably not.
Was there
Has that happened?
To it with the other writers? Like,
no. As long as Issa wanted to do it. Okay. Because she actually, I mean, we write a lot of stuff that, like I said, Issa's like, guys, this sounds real good in the writer's room, but I have to actually go out there and do this. But this is actually something she wanted to do, you know.
So is she like the modern day female Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
That's a great one. I would give her that for sure. I mean,
if you were everyone wanted,
yeah,
how it all had to go down.
I mean, look, she's very much in charge of her empire. We're, you know, I've been knowing her since we were really, you know, first starting out in Los Angeles as writers and creators. Right. I was right there when she got her show picked up at HBO. I was there from the first season, just helping her, being on her team. Right. You know, and I think the thing about what people should understand about television is that it's a team effort. It's a group effort. It's about every season, and I worked on the show for 3 seasons, we had about 9 writers, including Issa, and we all sort of sit around. Look, it's my favorite place because we all sit around like this, and we talk, and we sort of talk about like what you do last night. Right. You know, how you feeling, what you going through in your relationship.
You know, that energy. Yeah. The cast. And would you think television, to me, is more passion?
Yeah.
The most people that are all in, more passionate, like you win.
It's in your living room. Yeah. Like TV is in your living room, which I think we have an opportunity to spread culture, spread ideas, make people laugh, make people cry. And so it's a very intimate medium, in my opinion. Right. So bumping up to Boomerang, what is the most challenging part about being a showrunner than coming from a writer to showrunner? Yeah, I mean, the most challenging part is that I have to deal with everything. Like, for example, on Insecure, my main job as a writer and producer on the show was to, you know, help come up with the ideas, write scripts, you know, talk, you know, be in the writer's room and contribute ideas. Right. A lot of the stuff as far as like marketing, as far as like, you know, promotions, as far as like budget, I didn't have to worry about it on Insecure. And you have to do all that. And now I have to do all that on Boomerang now. So I mean, you know, I have to sort of have an input on the marketing of the show, the publicity of the show. We cast the show, we cast the actors. I have to find directors. So I mean, it's really, I mean,
And it's a lot to put into.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a 20. I'm glad you said that. It's 20 minutes, which we need more time. But I mean, that's sort of what it is. But I mean, I'm in charge of everything from I have to hire a head of hair and makeup, hire a head of wardrobe. You know, but again, it's you become.
Guys.
Yeah, but you're a producer.
Out there, you guys
I do, yeah.
Okay, you need like 4 persons. Okay?
But I mean, you go from being a writer to a showrunner. You go from being just a writer to now you're a producer. You're making everything happen. You're dealing with the budget. I mean, you have to make tough decisions. I have to make sometimes are, you know, we can't afford to shoot this, or we don't have enough time to film this, or you know. We may want the story to go a certain way, but if it doesn't make sense overall, you know, I have to deal with, you know, if our actors are not feeling well, I have to sort of talk to them, and if I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a therapist, I'm a psychologist, I'm a writer, I'm a producer. But again, I mean, I love what I do so much, and it's a huge privilege for me to be able to, you know, make a living off my passion.